So the last thing we're going to do is get the Wi-Fi connecting. So the first thing we need to do is we need to include the library. I'm not sure exactly what the difference between why some things we do pound include quote, sometimes we do pound include caret, but the 8266 Y capital W capital F I dot H close tag, and then in our code we need to do a couple things. The first thing we're going to need is we're going to need to new variables. We're going to need a variable called a const char pointer. Don't worry about what those words mean. It's just what the thing requires, called SSID. This is going to be the access point. In this case, we're going to ARSD underscore GUEST. When you're bringing this home, you're going to want to change that to your home's Wi-Fi. And we're also going to do a constant char array password, which in this case is going to use empty quotes. You'll put your password in there, but there's no password for the KRDSD guest network, so we'll leave that as it is. Now we're going to go down to scroll down to the section of code where I have it. Again, I've memorized this. I'm looking at all the stuff that I've written before. So in our setup, we are going to remove these initial pieces, and I'm going to move these two sections right under the display init. So now we have a display init. We have the pin stuff. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to add a new, or do a Wi-Fi begin, SSID, comma, password. Now, this will not happen instantaneously. There can be some time. I typically want to display something on the screen to show me what's happening. And what I found worked pretty well is I just have it switch between connecting to and Wi-Fi. So it goes connecting to Wi-Fi, connecting to Wi-Fi, connecting to Wi-Fi. First thing I'm going to do is bring my font size up to 16 because I know it's a valid font size because I did some Googling. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new variable called a Boolean called toggle. That's going to be equal to false. Now we're going to check to see while we're connected. So while Wi-Fi status not equal to WL underscore connected. Basically, while we're not connected, we're going to take and display two messages. So first we're going to check to see if we're on toggle. So if toggle's already fired off once, we're going to display clear. And we're going to display draw underscore string. And we're at say 32 y or 64 comma y. So in the middle of the screen because we already have that saved earlier. Actually, let's do 32. So we don't keep that. And we're going to connecting. And then display. And we're also going to take, and before we do that, we should actually turn off toggle. So toggle equals false. Actually, we should make this true. We'll start on the true level, and then we'll do it back. So now the else statement for this is we're going to steal all the code for ourselves because I'm lazy. Control C, Control V, except we're going to make the toggle true. So if toggle is true, which it is, it's going to do this. If toggle is now false, it's going to clear, right connecting, display, and then go through loop and check again. Now toggle is false, so now it's going to go and set toggle true. It's going to clear and say, instead of connecting, and say to Wi-Fi. In fact, let's make this instead of say 2, we're going to say 2. Let's make this connecting to, and here we're going to just put the SSID. So it always says what network we're trying to connect to. So it's going to say connecting to the SSD, connecting to SSID. And now, after we've done that, we're going to wait a second and check again. And now this should loop back and forth. And when it's finished, we're then going to set the font back to a reasonable, back to 10. And then our other program will run. So let's upload. Again, I'll pause while it uploads because you don't need to see green bars. And of course, I mistyped Wi-Fi. It's capital W, capital F. So again, I'm going to upload and pause. And this time I've started the video a little bit while it's uploading so that you can see as soon as it uploads what happens. 90%, 100%, restarting, connecting to, guest, connecting to, guest. That font's a little big, so maybe we can make this instead of 16, let's try 14. Upload, and again, I'm going to pause it while. So I've realized, so 14 is not a valid font. I actually want to do, so 10 and then 16 is the next one. So we'll leave it, I guess, 16, but we'll move the font up a hair for 24. And I forgot to actually do something once we connect. So before I upload again, let's add one more thing, which is we want to display at the smaller font the location. Also is going to change yourself to left justified. So I'm going to copy that line. Instead of center, we're going to do left. And we're going to do a clear. And then I'm going to display draw string at 0, 0. So that's the top left hand corner. 2. And then the next line we'll put the name. Draw string. ID. Oh, we tell where. So 0, 10. Now let's put it here. So 0, 10. So 10 pixels down. And then on the third line, we'll display our IP address, which is going to be important later. So display draw string 0, 20, and the way you get that is going to do Wi-Fi dot local IP to string dot C underscore str. Basically, we want it to be in the right format for the thing. This is the magic line. Change this IP address data to a standard string. and it's a C string so that I can talk to. So we are going to take and re-upload. Oh, and before I upload, we're going to make sure we do the most important thing. Display dot play. Upload, and then we'll pause the video because you don't need to see that. Again, I've typed Wi-Fi wrong every time. As before, I start the video back up so we can see it go. If you have trouble with uploading, try to unplug things and restart the device by hitting the switch. Now we can see it's connecting to KRSD guest, connecting to KRSD guest, and this will blink back and forth until it gets connection, which could take up to 30 seconds or so at most. And there we go. We are connected. We have an IP address, and we could start doing stuff with the web server from here. Of course, if I press the button, we'll go back to our other program. Now, they are left justified. If I want to change the alignment in my code, I would take and then bring my, after I did this, before I start my program, I could bring back to the center if I want to. Not going to bother uploading again. From here, we'll start building the more complicated portion, believe it or not, of creating the web page so we can actually access stuff on here. So one step at a time, but this will be the code that will start to draw our actual displays. So make sure you're saving this and keeping working on the same file.